Listen, I was gonna ask you
I can
another
answer you.
question, another curveball question, which is, what's it like studying in one of the elite conservatoires in the UK? Let's go.
It is very good.
Anything else to add to that,
I
or
would say
do we need to
no, no,
unpack?
no. I'm joking. No,
Is this one of those it's not
I'm
worth
almost
talking
gonna speak
about
French.
situations?
No, 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 no. I am very happy, especially because of the guitar department. I can only speak about the guitar department because it's the only experience that I've had, and I would say I never got to be close enough to the other people to know details about their departments. So I can only speak about.
Was there no interdepartmental drama that you could pick up on?
I never got to it because by the time that I could speak English and understand English, a pandemic happened. So
Okay,
I
fair
never
enough.
got to.
By
So
the time all the
basically, again,
juice.
my last 2 years, I know I didn't get any good. I didn't. Seriously, I'm such a disappointment because
Oof.
my first year, look, my experience in RCS again is also blurry because my first year was me adapting. I mean, adjusting to all of these changes, which are I mean, which means coming from Venezuela. So there is a light, a weird light. Sorry. Um, so adjusting to the weather, to the culture, to language, to language, to language,
And
and
more the
then
language.
adjusting to the, I mean, the educational system as well, which is very different from Venezuela. So
Mm.
yeah, I was a great student in Venezuela because I understood how everything works. But here is, I was like, why I'm not getting results? Why I'm not getting the best grades? Is like I'm doing all the best, and it's like I'm not the best here. How is that possible? But also, I mean,
Unacceptable.
understanding how everything. Yeah, I know. Duh.
Excuse me,
But
genius. Hello.
it was very I was very busy and tired, like emotionally and mentally tired, understanding everything, trying to understand everything that when I got to understand it, again, pandemic happened. It's like when I got to be used to and be comfortable and say, okay, now I know exactly how everything works. Now I know the people that I need to know. Now, like I understand where I'm living. Like I can socialize. I can become a person, a functioning person, because I'm all settled. Then seriously, pandemic happened. It's literally that. It's like it took me a year because the first year I wasn't working. The first year I was only studying, so it was good. It was okay.
Yeah,
I
because
would get
we
headaches.
met we met at your workplace once. I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna name it.
Exactly. That
Yeah,
was the second. Yeah, yeah.
but it was on the
That
corner
was
near Central Station. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. And uh so on my first year, Silas, I was literally just focused on understanding,
Mm.
on studying. My best grades are from first year because I was only studying. And then my second year, I decided to get a job. So I that was another shock, right? Because it's like a shock because studying and working and again, I mean, it's not the same thing to speak English at uni where everybody is very gentle and their accent is very understandable.
It's international as
um
well.
yeah, yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, I would say from every
you're talking to
30
professors
students
and
one is
students. Yeah,
Scottish.
yeah, and students from all
Yeah,
over the world.
yeah, so
As opposed to going down
yeah,
to Central
exactly,
Station
so
and going,
their
excuse me,
English.
Paul, can I get a wee bit of this with us? Thank you.
Exactly. So when I started to work, it was also me getting used to, again, this new
Yeah.
routine of me studying and working and meeting people. Because then when you start to earn money, then you start to spend money. So you start to socialize. And
Mm.
actually, that's how we met because I was actually starting to go out. I never went to a club in Venezuela because I live in the town where there was no clubs and I was far away from everything. So it was impossible.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
my
yeah.
first time in a club was in Glasgow. And I started to socialize then on my second year living in Glasgow, and then like when I started to make friends at uni and I started to be, I mean, again, to be a functioning normal
Yeah.
person that was studying
Finally
and
starting to
working
find out all the gossip.
and yeah, then everything just went wrong because of pandemic. So
So you had to stay at home.
my experience in RCS, yeah, my experience in RCS was that me adjusting, me getting used to the system, to Scotland,
Yeah.
to UK in general, and then when I got to it, it was too late. But my experience is it reduces to the guitar department, which was amazing because the teachers there are, I mean, my guitar teachers are just great, and the guitar community in general is very, in general, internationally speaking, is very friendly, and it's good to be part of it because we are, yeah, we are, I would say that we are very friendly. We like to
Not,
socialize.
not a
We
lot
are
of divas.
very
Not a lot of
helpful.
genius
No,
wonder
no, I mean,
childs.
well, you even those are nice. Uh, one second. You can
No worries.
you can
Just
start.
to let you know, we're gonna probably take a break again because it's gonna coming up to like a
Yeah,
40
I
minute
thought
mark.
so.
After that, I've got like 2 more questions, and that'll be that. Just letting you know. But
I know, I know, because it's too long. Of course, I watched that.
no. It's just because
I'm not
after
that
the
interesting.
no, it is interesting. Listen, before I would stop at this, and that was that. So I'm just letting you know.
That's okay.
No, cool.
Um. So yeah, I mean, my experience in RCS was good because of the guitar department. So I mean, the teachers are good. They are very caring, and if I have to compare it with,
Recording. There we go. Right, so we're just saying that you loved RCS because of the guitar department, and if you're going to compare it to anywhere else, then that's where we got cut off.
well, I was going to compare the university. I mean, or at least the educational experience. In Venezuela, before I was coming to Scotland, I did, you know, this introduction to university is like a 3 month period, or
Okay. So you
it
can have
depends
like,
on different.
I don't think I'm familiar with that back home. We'd have preparation for exam and like entry level exam, you know, like
Hmm.
audition stuff. But I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
think we ever. I was never a part of a program that was like a little taster of uni, to put it that way.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not sure how to explain it that that it makes sense in English, but that's the best way that I can describe it. It's like it's like an introduction to university basically.
Is it like a we're gonna
And
simulate university style teaching
yeah, you go
or
to uni, you go to uni, you get to meet the teachers, you get to know a little bit of the classes, and yeah, it's for you to try. Right now, seriously, my memory is just very bad. I should have read more about it, explain it better, but that's
no, that's
pretty
okay.
much what it is.
I'm not giving people
So,
homework.
but there is a
Next time please have a 5,000 word essay prepared. Your personal thoughts and feelings.
I cannot do that. But
Well, you can try to
well,
put it into
that's
song if that helps.
yeah,
Soy un hombre
yeah,
muy
that's
honrado.
that's true. That's true.
I'm sorry, that's my Desperado reference.
Well, no, I didn't get it, but okay, it's okay.
That's fine.
Next time.
So it's gonna be sad and old here in the corner by
Oh
myself.
no,
I can still hear you.
again. Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, I did that just because I was waiting to have I mean, the audition results and the scholarship results. So in the meantime, I was doing that, and it was. I also have the references from friends that studied music or that studied at university in Venezuela in general.
Yeah.
And compared to the conservator, because I can only speak about the conservator as well. Like I didn't study any. I haven't seen up close the experience of others universities. I heard, but I cannot get into details. So, speaking just about that experience that I had in Venezuela and some references and my experience in the conservator, I was very, uh, it was very contrasting. How, for example, we at uni, I mean, at the conservatory, we don't have tests. Like we never had actual exams in the
Until the
subjects
end?
that were not guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, until the end. Like I explain myself. So
Yes, please.
you
I'm
had
listening.
the modules.
Hmm.
Yeah, you had the modules, and then after, I mean, each term there were exam, no exams, but what's the name? When you have to submit something. Dissertations.
Yeah. Well,
There's another
dissertation is
one
normally at the
to
very end,
say.
but is it like an essay or is it like a
Yeah, it's
little?
not. Yeah, but you have a submission.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
say that you have a submission, and for example, yeah, it could be an essay. For example, for music theory, it was on the analysis of a piece and all like these type of things. But you knew what was going to be your, I mean, yeah, your submission at the end of the term. So after 3 months, so you were going to your classes. You were I mean, yeah, having your class with the teacher, understanding the topics, blah blah blah, and you could decide when to work on your submissions, I mean, on your essays or analysis or whatever you had to do for each module.
Yeah.
And that for me was very contrasting, because it's like, I'm not saying in Venezuela it can work like that, but you have exams. Like you say, oh, this. I mean, you have teachers that prepare obviously the structure of how you're going to be evaluated during the term or during the year, but you have. I mean, you have a lot of things every time. So you have a lot of exams. You have a lot of submissions, like little homework that they send you. It's like, oh, you need to bring this next week, you need to do this for next lesson, you need to, etc., etc. So it works more like that. Like you're constantly under pressure, you're constantly evaluated by your teacher. So I mean,
Yeah.
and
So
here it's not like that. So at least at the conservatory. So
no, no, no.
you were
I'm
saying,
listening.
sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it creates a more of a that. Yeah, as you said, more pressure. It's more of a slightly more stressful environment, even because you got.
See, yeah, I mean, you have one submission. It's like, for example, the conservatory, again, you have one submission at the end of the term, and it's like just one submission at the end of the term,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
sounds easy, right? But I mean, I
But one
kind of
can be enough.
understand, again, as I was saying. Yeah, that's the thing. And basically, you are on your own. It's like you can decide when to work on it, and that leads to you leaving it to the last minute, which is
Obviously.
which depends on you. Depends on you. Depends, not doesn't depend on anybody else. So obviously, there are people that were preparing with time and working weekly on their projects. So by the end,
Yeah, the
they
nerds.
will
We
be
know.
done,
We know.
and they didn't have to. Yeah, responsible people. And but the thing is, um it's very free. It's like you choose your time. I mean, you choose when you want to work on it, how you want to work on it, and
Mm.
the guidelines are very open. It's like you have the guidelines there, but at the same time, it's like there are so many things that I can do with this, and I don't know what is the right way to do it. So that was most like that was my way of approaching this. It was like it's so
Vague or
ambiguous, like,
okay.
yeah, vague, yeah. So it was vague. It was, at least for me, especially because I'm not used to the educational system in the UK.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was very shocking. So because in Venezuela you have everything. I mean, the teacher tells you this, you have to do it this way, this way, this way, and you understand exactly how you have to do it and how to do it right. So here is very like, I mean, you can do it this way. These are the general guidelines. I mean, they explain it to you because they do, and they try to. I mean, they say you should be able to bring this information by this time. I mean, this week you can discuss it with me if you have to. But it's so free and so flexible that it was very contrasting from my experience and from my educational system. So it was. very different. It was hard to understand it and to get used to it. So
So I'm actually, do you have a follow-up question from the RCS, which is how many people get,
mm,
so how many students do you get in a year at your class, in your,
oh,
I know in acting was it like 20
I'm trying
something.
to think. Yeah, I would. But the thing is, we had just a couple of lessons that would be like lectures, and
Mm.
I could actually see all the music students. Like you had the jazz department, I mean the traditional music department, the jazz department, and the classical music department.
I'm curious about your
So
department
which are
specifically.
which well, I cannot tell you exactly
Ah,
how many we were, but because I am not sure. And I only remember like the full amount of musicians, again, putting together traditional jazz and classical. And I would say we were around 100, maybe more than
around
100.
100, right.
So I am not, maybe I'm wrong,
And was 100, was
but
that 1 year, all the musics, like all the different music
one year,
departments?
yeah,
Okay.
year one. For
And how
example, this is
many
year,
people do you know normally apply for this 100 positions ish?
I don't know. I don't know. I cannot tell
I
you.
remember something like 8,000 out of that. 24 get selected for like acting, something like that. I could be completely wrong, but I know it's some ridiculous number, right?
I cannot, don't
So
have that information.
what the question I have for you is, so this is what I'm curious about. For us rest common folk who don't, are not geniuses and don't make it in on the first try. Uh, no, what I'm curious about. So obviously you can always try again until you get it. But for those that don't, do you think something like the RCS, is it absolutely vital? Like if you want to have a career and make a living, do you think it's absolutely vital to go there? Or do you
No,
think you can realistically do your own thing and build up your? I'm happen to lean towards. I think you can probably do your own thing, but I'm curious if you've noticed any doors opening for you just because you slap down the CV and it says RCS. Do people go, oh, okay, interesting, keep talking? Or what's your experience been with that? Any?
no, I would say no, it's not necessary because yeah, you can just recently graduated. I mean, graduate, yeah, I graduated recently from there, and it's
Mm.
like, yes, I don't see any difference because I came from there. So at least not now. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing the things wrong
Man,
because
this is
I still
always
don't understand how it works.
yeah, it's always context dependent. Because if you go down to your pub to play guitar for an evening, then as long as you can play well, they'll be like, okay, come along. But
Yeah,
if it may
I
be
think.
it may be in certain circles, people will be like, oh, she went there, like that's very good. Like I guess it's very much depends on the person that you're standing in front of.
Yeah, but it's like everything. It's like there is no stamp or there is no guarantee that if you
Mm.
graduate from certain place, you have a career. I mean, you're gonna have
Yeah,
a successful career. It's like everything. I mean, you can come up from everywhere, but if you're not good, if you don't do what you need to do to get to, I mean, to get to play in places or
yeah.
to teach somewhere, it's like it's just about you. It's
Oh yeah, that's
about
why I
how
was curious
you.
to be honest, because I think sometimes I remember before I very much had the mentality of how I not that I need to get in there, but I really wanted to get in there, right? And I'm sure many people
Yeah,
have the same feeling. And when I didn't, I felt bad for a little while. And after I was like, it'll be fine. I'll figure it out. And I
I
think
would
for
say
many people, it's important to hear that it's not the end all be all. It's a fantastic place to study, but your
yeah,
skills are
I
more
would say
important than your diploma.
going more on about what you're just saying. Um, Once you are in RCS, there are a lot of things going on inside
Mm.
that you need to be very connected. Like you need to be very active. If you are, you have the chance to participate in competitions and you can apply for different organizations that they usually go and they have connections. I mean, they have
Yeah,
agreements. It's a big network. So they usually like these organizations go to RCS and they give a lecture and they tell you, oh, you can apply for this, you can belong. I mean, you can be part of the organization, so you can
yeah,
play constantly, blah blah blah. So all of these type of things, like they give you a lot of information about what's going on in the musical environment. In my
yeah.
case, I'm speaking just about music. So I guess if you are active, if you participate in all of these things that are happening when you are studying RCS, then you have more chances to, I mean, to get into what you want to
So it's a
do. Like,
networking thing more. It's more of a
yeah. So
matter of
I
exposure.
exactly, but I think I didn't do much of it because of all the things that I just told you. I was so busy trying to adjust. I was so busy understanding the basics
Yeah,
that I didn't have time. I didn't have space in my brain to think about
yeah, yeah, yeah.
using all of these benefits that, yeah, they are there when you are studying there. And I guess even when you graduate, it's just, again, like it's been always me trying to get used to what's happening at the moment that I cannot see farther. And it's like, oh, look, there are like, it was me understanding a class, like trying to
Hmm.
understand the teacher that was explaining something to me. And then it's like, oh, there are these chances to participate in this competition. You can enroll here. Maybe you can travel and play somewhere else and blah, blah, blah. So I was just like, I just really need to work on this essay. And it's like, because it's hard for me. So but that's just my experience.
Listen, well, we're just talking about your experience. That's very relevant to this interview right now.
But
um,
I would say the benefits of studying in these important places is all the benefits that you get
yeah.
when, I
Have
mean,
you
the
seen
opportunities
anyone
that you can
taken?
get if you are. I know.
Did people try to take advantage
Yeah,
of it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, there are, like, especially, there's a lot of collaboration happening as well. Like, for example, many musicians collaborate with the theater, with the musical theater part. Like, they play and then they get to perform with them when they go on a tour. So
Hmm.
these type of things, and they get invited to festivals because of that. Same, there is a violinist. Yeah, violinist that started younger than me. We used to live together, and she was part of a kind of festival. Maybe I'm saying the wrong information, but the point is that she was part of this festival because of RCS. So
Yeah.
she got to be part of this organization and all of this stuff. So she got to experience different things because it was through RCS. I actually did it as well a little bit. Like, I played in a quartet, and we went to a guitar festival in Ullapool in the north of Scotland. So,
Hmm.
and it was just because of RCS. I got to play in other places because of RCS. So, like, there are a lot of things happening, and I wasn't the best in getting involved into these things because I was just
No, you,
overwhelmed
you
with
had you had
everything
other
else.
problems. You had more
Yeah.
urgent issues to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. But for sure, other students that are, I mean, those people that are always participating in everything,
Okay.
for sure, they have opportunities there.
So that's
Still, I believe it's not the only way to do these things.
so
It's
that's
like, I
that's
mean,
two
you
lessons learned there.
it brings you closer to opportunities, maybe, if you know how to take them, because that's the thing. If you are not involved, if you are not paying attention, then they just slip through your fingers, and
Yeah.
you weren't part of it. So
So
it depends on
basically,
you.
yeah,
But like everything.
I was gonna say that. So basically, it's not the be all end all. So if you didn't get in, try again, or just make your way in another path. But you can still don't give up, keep going. And on the other hand, if you did get in, if you can, keep your eyes open and don't just be like, well, I made it and this is it. It's all cloud nine
No,
from here on,
yeah,
lads. No, the work
exactly.
you just reached another level, so you can keep working.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to keep your eyes open. That's the thing. You have to be always there, always active,
Yeah,
because
that makes sense. I think that's
yeah. So
cool. Um, I was actually curious because obviously now you're a professional. I in the big world in London. Hello. So I was wondering, so how uni's over? The fun times are over now. So what's it like being a musician out in the big bad world?
was it what was that supposed to be fun? What?
Well, it's not gonna get any easier now. That's not actually.
I know.
I'm just messing with you. I think actually in certain ways because you have your own, you can focus more on the stuff that you want specifically. It might actually be more fun. The freedom is definitely for me as an actor has been anyway, just because I can do what I want. I don't have a class to get ready for. I've done all that, thank you very much. Now I can
Yeah, yeah.
create my own
It's
stuff.
been a year. It's been a year that I studied, and it's been amazing actually.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
How was the how
Um,
was the first month after finishing uni? Did you have the blues? Did you have the post uni little depression? You're like, what am I supposed to do with my life now?
No, I mean, I think pandemic ruined a lot of my experience
Oh,
because
okay.
it ruined the last 2 years of uni when I was actually ready to be at uni. Because, as I said, it
Mm,
took me 2 years to get used
mm,
to uni,
mm.
being in the UK, and then I couldn't enjoy it properly. So it's kind of frustrating,
So you're not
well, very
bitter about it or
frustrating.
anything, is what you're saying.
No, no, totally. It's not like I cried about it more than 7 hours, but yeah, sure. It's not like I complain about it for any but yeah, it's okay. We survived. So it could have been
Hey,
much worse. You
I
could have
was,
been in another country with yeah, let's not complain about it. Still, like it doesn't mean that it's not important. It doesn't mean that it doesn't affect us. Just because we didn't suffer it in the way that other people suffered it, it doesn't make it less. It doesn't
listen,
make it
listen,
less painful.
listen. When you hurt your pinky, in the door or in the corner of a bench or whatever, corner of a chair, does it have to be like, well, at least you didn't lose a leg? It's like, shut the fuck up! I just hurt my pinky. Ow!
Right. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
there's no point
Exactly.
in being like, well, other people suffer more. Yes, and I'm very sorry for them. But right now, I'm suffering. Can we deal with this?
I know. Exactly. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. But I wasn't depressed after I finished. I was very angry. I was just angry that I had to leave. I had to graduate in that moment. I was just like, good. That's my 2 years of studying abroad gone. But thanks.
Fair
So
enough.
I kept thinking, it's like, well, eventually I will do masters, but um visa, scholarship, blah blah blah. It's like, no, let me rest for a little bit. It's like I wanna be a person for a while.
So hang on.